I was in one of the first speed metal bands in Cork. Probably the first, actually. And it was like first generation speed metal, coming out of Iron Maiden and Judas Priest primarily. Some trivia with Judas Priest. One of the guitar players, they've got K.K. Downing and Glenn Tipton. Glenn, the reason he plays guitar is because of Rory Gallagher. I was kind of intrigued and enamoured, and so I joined the band. Their guitar player had left and they needed one quite quickly, so I joined. Liked the music kind of thing, but the novelty wore off very quick. I didn't really want to be in a heavy metal band or a speed metal band. And that was the only one I've ever been in. Lasted about a month and a half, 2 months kind of thing. The kind of, also, I kind of had to adapt a little bit too much. I wasn't kind of prepared to do that, actually. Kind of adapt to their mores, which kind of weren't my mores, and, I kind of didn't really want to do it. So I kind of, we're kind of rehearsing, and kind of at the end of the rehearsal, like, I said, like, that's it, like, I'm out, like, that's it. And there was, like, lots of recrimination and invective, unilateral, actually. And I said, fine, okay, that's it. And I kind of had to walk, like, 3 miles to the bus stop to get home, in the kind of misty August morning. And I know going back to Gavin Hennessy. That was it, because I left Gavin Hennessy to go with this band. And I thought to myself on the way, heavy metal, something, give me Japan anytime. And the irony there is that the only cover I've ever really done is Can't On by Japan. And then I got the bus, then I had to get another bus, and then I was like, I had to walk a mile and a half again to get home, kind of thing. So it was a big commitment, like, kind of taking up a lot of time. And I'm sorry, like, I just didn't feel that I had to give. Now, luckily, they got a guitar player very quick, turned it all around, and we're back very, very quickly, which was a bit of a godsend. That was that. Then, that was like on a Sunday. On a Thursday, I was actually doing a Meals on Wheels errand for a family member, bringing them down a hot meal. I had 2 containers of hot meals to bring down to them, and going to run a few errands for them as well. So I brought that down, did my errands, and then my friend Raj was actually playing in a kind of a new wave of British heavy metal band down on the pier near where my relative lived. So I went down, had a look, and the support band were playing, and I knew the singer in the support band because he went to the same school as me, Cillian Murphy, and he basically very good kind of new wave British heavy metal as well, like kind of light kind of thing. And at the end of the gig anyway, he came over to me, and they had a brilliant guitar player and they were a brilliant band, like, and he came over to me with the drummer Tom, and they said, look, we're thinking of breaking away and forming another band, different material, kind of more U2, Police, this kind of thing. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, sure. So basically they had to play that out. They had to they had to deal with the breakup kind of thing and the fallout from the breakup and all that kind of thing first. And then they got on to me and said, right, let's go. Now the thing is, again, there, at the start, this was Midway. And at the start, like, it was brilliant, like, but then, as a 3-piece, like with Kevin on bass, singing, and Tom and me, I mean, it was great. But the kind of then when they brought in the bass player, Shamey again, who went to the Jones School, where Cillian Murphy's grandfather, Jim O'Mahony, was the master. Great guy, like, but like then Kevin was kind of, I didn't like the material, and I was kind of, there was bits of fame and all that kind of stuff, like, and reputations and blah, 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 and Brian Orman came in, but I wasn't into it that much. And then the band kind of, similar to like the speed metal band, Kevin left. And like that's okay, kind of thing. But like the lads were fairly peeved, shall we say, and a bit like recriminations, animosity, and all that kind of stuff. Kevin was persona non grata, and but then Kevin called me and asked me to join the interference, and then more politics because Tom wasn't invited, and that like created a major schism between me and Tom that took years to heal, actually. And that there was more politics why he wasn't invited to join the interference, because it should have been him, because Ferg came down to our initial recording session and was completely enamoured by the whole outfit. So anyway, I joined the interference, and I was in them for literally the same amount of time I was in the speed metal band, and they were moving to Dublin. I wasn't moving to Dublin, and that was that. So, and this is all kind of, just after kind of playing with Gavin and all that. And as I said, there was no going back to Gavin because I'd left Gavin to join the speed metal band. And and this kind of happened all within the space of a year, so it was kind of tumultuous, so to speak, but incredibly interesting, and a bit of a roller coaster. Fantastic, great experience. So I kind of, in that space of time, I was kind of in two cult bands and a really, really good kind of rock band kind of thing. So thank you for listening.